That was amazing.
Dude, I think I pulled out all the stops, and that might have been my
Finest
best.
performance.
Yeah, you finally found the bottom of the well of what my best instrument is.
We don't have to wonder anymore.
So, yeah.
So, hello, everybody, and welcome to the show.
Unsought Opinions, the place where you come for opinions you didn't know you were coming for.
This is the Unsought Opinions Under the Weather edition.
Which is ironic. Because Ben and I are the only ones under the weather.
We're the only sick ones, but
Everyone else wanted to stay away from the sickness.
We refuse to stay away ourselves, so then everybody else is like, I'm not getting close to those losers.
What is your issue?
No, Dan has some family stuff he's got to take care of.
And Luke's about to have a baby, so it was smart for him to stay away from us.
Oh, definitely. I wouldn't have been here if my wife was 9.5 months pregnant.
I would have, but some of us are more dedicated than others.
Yeah.
You say 9.5 months? Is that how much?
Isn't it technically 10 months of pregnancy?
There's that time before the missed period. Or getting in the weeds. But isn't that what it is? I don't know.
I'm definitely qualified to talk about this, and I say yeah.
Okay. I saw a small video once.
Yeah. Dude, I saw a video on YouTube, and they talked about it.
Speaking of tambourines, do you know that, as I've stated before, played for a symphony orchestra. I subbed for one time and played a cymbal. But true symphony orchestras and stuff, the music to a tambourine can get nuts.
Really?
So this is just a dumb tambourine that clips onto a drum set, so that when you use your hi-hat, it goes up and down.
Look different.
Yeah, but they have them where it's like goat skinned. It looks kind of like a drum, a small drum that you hold, and so you can play a rhythm on it, and you can do those weird thumb roll things that I was telling you about and stuff.
Yeah.
Just some of the interesting, and then triangles also get the same because you have to hold it a certain way to have it ring, and then you do another one where it's a clamped, so you play those two different notes in unison. So the things that people think are the simplest things to play, they get pretty wild.
I think people always will do that with anything. They'll just figure out a way to make something simple technical. It's and I think that's the perfect case in point. The tambourine is now harder than anything else to play.
Dude, I learned at a young age that the more someone knows about a subject, the less good they probably are at that subject. Yeah. I remember being in marching band the first day, and this guy was telling me about a marimba, which is it's like a xylophone, but it's made of wood. Mm-hmm. And he's like, just the richness of the rosewood. And I was like, this guy
has an oaky afterbirth.
Yeah. It's this guy's insane. Yeah. And so I have become that guy that I'm not very good at many things. And so I just tell you too much about it.
Nice. Good.
Do you know what makes the tambourines?
Here we go. Here we go.
This is it.
I don't know anything about the tambourine.
I was kidding.
Yeah, I know.
Just
but
pieces of metal.
just so you know, I don't know anything about that.
Well, it was founded with the gypsies in Armenia.
Actually, I did know that.
In Romania.
That's weird.
Thanks, Hunchback of Notre Dame. Do you know, interesting fact.
Oh, boy.
So the gypsies came through Europe, and they were known for being a little shisty sometimes, and would take advantage of people in the marketplace.
And steal food from KFC right in front of me.
Did that happen?
Yeah.
From a gypsy?
I can tell you the story after you're done telling me this.
I'm so excited about it. But that's where if you gyp someone, I got gypped, it's because they're saying you got gypsy.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh, dude.
But it's just kind of messed up. But anyway, tell me your story. That sounds way better.
Well, so I was in Ireland with my wife and our friends, and we were, I don't know, on our third or fourth day, I think. And we were heading into the country to stay at the cottage that we had for the 10 days or something.
This is the place where you ate the bunny?
Yes.
Did that actually happen, or was that?
Oh, that's a true story, 100%. And actually, I think he sent me a picture of the heart the other day because when I show it to you, you're gonna laugh.
Dude, this man reminds me so much of Dwight Schrute when he
Yeah, dude. Deutsch.
We only have seconds to harvest the intestines.
He's like, yeah, dude.
Is he a listener?
I think he has listened, but he may not.
We don't have
listen
many
that much.
second listens, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, dude. This is the heart of that bunny.
I can confirm I'm looking at a bloody heart that's made into a meme, and it says, I, bloody heart, you.
Yeah, with the nasty bloody hand
So,
holding the
yeah.
heart.
It's very romantic.
Yeah, he loves me.
So, all right. Anyway.
But anyway, so we were in Ireland, and we had, they're pretty well known to have terrible food there, and so we were desperate for something good to eat, and we were in this old country.
I can tell by that rabbit heart.
Yeah, exactly right. We had to take matters into our own hands. Anyway, we were in this old town. I don't even remember the name of it, and I think it was in Northern Ireland at this point. And there was a KFC. We're like, dude, KFC. That's what's up. We're going here. So we pull in. Everything seemed just like America, just like perfectly fine, amazing. Like you wouldn't even know that you're in a B class, country. But
To all of our Ireland listeners, we're talking about Northern Ireland.
yes, specifically. No, I'm just kidding. Ireland's amazing.
Well, they're two different countries.
Yeah, well, not to me.
Okay.
So, we're in line. We're in line, and there's this group of dudes just hanging out at the counter waiting for their food, and we haven't even had a chance to like tell anybody our order yet because they haven't come to the front. And I was like, well, okay, service is bad in America too, whatever. And after seriously 15 minutes, I was like looking around the restaurant.
Was there a drive-through or was it just?
Yeah, there was a drive-through.
Oh,
yeah.
wow, okay.
I think so. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but I would, if I had to guess, I would say yeah, there was a drive-through. But after about 15 minutes, I'm like looking around. I'm like, man, everything is America. Like this seems just like America, except for one thing, and it's this group of guys up there like eating food as these people are bringing it to them. And man, I don't know how long exactly we were there, but it was at least a half hour just watching these guys eat food as the employees were bringing it to the counter. And eventually, like 2 or 3 of them just like took their work shirts off and threw them down and just bailed. They're like, I've had enough of this, and they left. And some dude who, I guess he was another guy waiting in line. He comes inside the store, and he walks up to me, and he like, he assesses the situation really quickly, and he just says to me, he's like, stinking. Choice words.
Right.
Says stinking gypsies, and I was like, "Oh, is that what's happening right now?"
They're just eating
And
everyone's
they're
food.
yeah. There's and when as they're getting the food, they're eating it and then saying that they didn't get it. Right? They're like, "Oh, I'm still waiting on that sandwich, or still waiting on those whatever." So they just kept bringing them food, and then eventually they went and sat down at their table, and then we got to order our food. But like they had chunks missing out of their ears. They were like beat up, crazy looking dudes. And
That's crazy.
The guy who was hosting us in Northern Ireland, we told him about that, and he was like, "Oh wow, I've always heard about the gypsies. I've never seen them." I was like, "I think you probably eat at different places than we eat."
Dude, I wonder if it was like the fairies. Like they're not real.
Yeah.
Gypsies are just a figment. Because if you're going to find a fairy, it's going to be in Ireland.
Oh, definitely. In fact, I saw a fairy.
Let's hear that story.
No, I didn't actually.
Dang it.
I know. I'm sorry. I was just trying to be interesting for a second. Sorry how long that gypsy story was for like kind of no payoff.
No, that's fascinating.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a true story. It happened.
I mean, just for the chunks missing out of the ears part of it. I don't know what's going on with your mic, but I'm hearing like a squeaking or something. Are you rubbing it into your facial hair, or is it? I don't know. Anyway. Oh, is it unscrewing?
I think so.
Oh, all right. Let me mute you while I talk a little bit. Do you know much about like fairy lore? Like, you can give me a yes or no. Are you good?
I'm good. Yeah. No, I do not know about fairy. I know about Tinkerbell.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, all right. So a lot of this is going to be off of like memory from listening to a podcast like 2 years ago, but
With Tinkerbell, you know what I'm saying?
this is a good podcast.
I think we all know what I'm talking about.
So the fairies that we know of is like Tinkerbell and stuff is like that's not the fairies that they're that. In
Are you talking
lore.
about like wood nymphs and stuff like that?
Not even like nymphs, but yeah,
Because I
like
do know
wood
one thing about
spirits
that.
and stuff, and like changelings and stuff like that.
I do know about changelings.
Oh, you do?
Because that movie with Angelina Jolie,
Oh, I never saw
where they
that.
swapped that kid out.
That's what a changeling is.
Right. Well, that happened to her. I think that was
Is that what the movie was about?
something like that.
Dude, so this is in real life that we have documented cases of this in like the Middle Ages and stuff, that they have these changelings. Supposedly, a fairy comes in, takes your baby, and puts this other baby in its place. It looks exactly like your baby, and your baby is now in the fairy world. And the only way to get it back is to kill the changeling. And so the signs of a changeling are all of a sudden your baby starts crying a lot, it starts acting not normal and things like this. And so these mothers were like drowning their babies and like setting their babies on fire and different things like that, like because
Dude,
they were
is that what autism is though?
oh, I don't know.
Like, I wonder.
I don't know. I'm sure there's a ton of stuff with like so many health issues and stuff that it's like so tragic that these
Yeah,
people would
dude.
be.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like having to deal with the baby that's crying all the time. Yeah.
No, that's what I'm. Yeah. Oh my god.
No, yeah, I know what you're saying.
But like, I don't know. It just seems like such a different world, like the Middle Ages, like 1500s and
what
stuff.
do you
Like
mean by documented cases though? Like for reals?
people, like we have like people getting in trouble in the courts for murdering their children because they thought it was a changeling.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Not
yeah. That's what I would have.
the documented case. They don't have it. The changeling on charge.
Right. Okay. That's kind of what I was expecting you to say.
Do you think that there's anything to that?
What, fairies snatching your babies? No, I just think that's bad parenting. Like,
Keep an eye on your baby.
if you're willing to like slaughter your baby because you think that it's a changeling just because it's crying more than you want it to, I don't. Maybe it's the way I was raised, but that's just bad parenting.
So my thing is like I always try and like look at the humanity behind it and like what would cause someone to voluntarily get leeched or do bloodletting or thing like the crazy medical practices and stuff
Desperation,
that we
dude.
have. But it had to have worked at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there was like Roger, he was like sick and he's like living down the street and he started letting blood out just to like get better and he got better and everybody's like, oh dude, Roger got better. Let's start cutting our own blood out.
Yeah. Or like all the tuberculosis clinics and stuff that popped up and you sending everyone to Colorado and it actually worked having the fresh, clean air or whatever, even though it's like, I don't know. But my point is like, people don't just say, oh, your baby's crying, you should probably murder it. Like there's got to be something to that.
Yeah.
In it, like, I don't know. Maybe it's demonic in that there are actual incidents. Do you know? I'm getting off track.
I come
again.
from the world where slaughtering your baby would be considered a demonic act. Maybe one day I'll be able to convince you of the same thing, but
If I hear one more crying, one more sleepless night. No, but
I do know that sleep like deprivation makes you crazy too, and those two things can go together.
But I'm saying it's like it's such a common. Everyone believes in the fairies. Everyone believes in this entire log of lore of the fairies. There had to have been some instances where they were dealing with something supernatural. Is my point.
Yeah.
To make them do something that crazy. It's not just one person got tired and murdered their baby. Because
Right.
people get crazy and do that. But the fact that it is like in the cultural zeitgeist that be careful because your children will be snatched up and replaced to the point where people believe it so much that they're willing to do this. Like
right.
that doesn't just materialize out of nowhere.
Yeah, usually, yeah. You're right. There's usually something there that causes that idea in the first place, I guess.
And maybe it's just like a different world where in the Middle Ages and everyone's superstitious, and
You want to hear a funny
nowadays
story
we're
about,
just a little stitious.
You want? Yeah. Nice. You want to hear a funny story about nymphs and wood elves and
I
stuff?
would love to hear it.
So my friend, actually my brother-in-law, he was reading. He found out about some like Blue Ridge Parkway fly fishing handbook written by some guy who apparently is like an expert and has been buddy with like the superintendent of the parkway forever and knows like all the spots to go and everything. So he was like reading this book that this guy wrote to get all these, money fishing spots.
Is this the same book that tells you like how to get what is it, like the Holy Trinity or whatever, like 3 different kinds of trout all on the same day? What's that called?
The slam, the trout slam.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think the information in this book would
Allow that to
allow
happen.
that to
Okay.
happen, but he was like most of the way done with this book, and he was like pumped on this guy, and the guy was like, just be careful of a few things out in the woods when you're by yourself. Boulders fly down that mountain. He said he's had monster rocks just like crash through the river in front of him coming down off the hill. And like trees will fall, branches will break. He said it's just very dangerous. It's worth having somebody else out there, especially if you encounter like wood nymphs. It's like which he has seen. Like he was like adamant about having seen them. And so my brother-in-law, he's like, he gets to that point in the book. He's like, is anything that I've read thus far real at all? It was nice.
That's really funny. I'm trying to think of who your brother-in-law is.
Dustin.
Oh.
I guess I could just say that. Yeah, yeah.
I was thinking of like your sister's husband or something. I'm like, I don't think he's into fly fishing. So I was going all around. But
yeah.
Anyway,
Nice.
so that's really funny. So you don't think that the author saw wood nymphs?
No. I don't think so.
There are people that think that like Bigfoot is in that same category and like the elemental of the woods. And there's even like parts in the Bible where they talk about elementals and spirits and stuff like that.
Okay,
in
I
that category.
can get into that, I guess. Yeah, like cuz I think my hand's like electronic or something. Hey, listen to this. Do you hear that?
No, I did the first time. But
Oh.
anyway.
Well, anyway. Yeah, I mean, I think there's some spiritual aspects to that. So maybe.
Yeah. When you think of wood nymph, are you thinking like Tinkerbell flying through the woods?
Absolutely, dude. I
Okay.
always think of Tinkerbell.
Not a day goes by.
I see a shooting star. I'm like, Tinkerbell?
Hey, girl.
What's up? Is she coming over here? I can fly a little bit,
You got a wish on the star.
Yeah, dude. Well, I've wasted a lot of time doing that. I can tell you that. So what else? So how was your week?
Dude, my week was okay. I almost crashed a plane, so that was exciting.
Oh, really?
A little bit.
Did it feel like it?
So
You got behind it on land.
I got behind it on land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're coming in on final.
Yep.
And you got the plane got in front of you and you couldn't catch up.
Yes. So I'm landing and I start to do a hobby horse type deal, which is where you land to. I know you probably know what this is, but I'm explaining it for on Saudis.
For the third chair.
You land a little hard, and so you bounce, and then you keep bouncing kind of down the runway.
Right.
And it's at an airport that has a very short. It's half the length of Culpeper Airport.
Is this orange?
No, it's Gordonsville.
Oh, snap.
So it's a great place to practice your short field landings and stuff, but it's in a 172, which is the size up. It's like I drive a Civic, and this is the Accord version of it. So everything's different. You have to completely relearn the plane and everything, and I'm doing it solo. And so I've learned the plane with an instructor, but this is my first time out solo and everything. And so I land a little hard and start to hobby horse, and then like an idiot, I'm starting to veer off to the right on the runway. So you get away from center line, you start going towards the grass where there's all the lights and everything. And rather than use my rudder, which is what you're supposed to do to kind of get you back, I hit the brakes on just the wrong tire. And just like in ice, all of our viewers, I'm sure, have experienced that, where you just completely lose control. And the plane starts careening, going directly off the runway. And by the grace of God, I had maybe an inch of runway on my left before I was going into the woods. You know when you're about to get in a car accident, and you're like, "This is happening," and everything's going through my mind. I'm like, I'm gonna have to. I didn't pay to have insurance. The security deposit's like $6,000 on this plane. All this stuff that I'm like, this sucks. I'm so annoyed. The last inch, it catches traction, and I'm able to like
Get control of it.
get control and bring it back to center line. It was so. I literally just had to sit there on the runway, just like.
So did you? What caused that? Were you coming in on final too slow?
I think I was coming in too fast, which causes you to float on the runway. But again, I think it was mainly coming in, and I don't know. I'm going through a lot in my head of like reanalyzing it, but you come in too quick, and then because I'm focusing on it being a short runway and like I got to lose power fast, and I'm thinking of all these things. I'm not focusing on my rudder, which is the part of the back of the plane that keeps you left and right and stuff. And so then I get
control the rudder
with your feet.
Right.
So
I was just making sure you knew that.
Yeah. So the way that you fly a plane is your hands control the wings, which lets you go left and right, but it tips the plane. And the rudder, think of a rudder of a boat, it controls your yaw, which you control with your feet. But the brakes of the plane, which control like the landing gear when you're actually on the ground, you slide your feet up. So they're still the same pedals, but it's the top of the pedals that you push down with like the tips of your toes, which control the left and the right wheel, so that you can kind of steer your way that way. So the wheels never actually have their own engine power or anything. It's just you control if they're braked or not. And so that's how you control it. So when you're landing, you're supposed to be using the rudder to stay on center line. And I got distracted with it being a short runway, me trying to lose power and everything. And like you said, I got behind the plane. So a lot of pilot talk for a lot of non-pilots. So.
For a couple of non-pies.
So, yeah, it was... For a few days, I'm like, dude, I don't know if I need to be a pilot. I'm just...
Oh, you need to be a pilot.
So, yeah,
So you didn't take it back up immediately just to get it out of your hand?
No, I was like, I'm done for the day. I'd already... That was my third landing. I was in the pattern.
Was your instructor on site?
No.
Watching?
No. And so I am not telling him that.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just going to wait for the smaller plane to get fixed. It's been in the shop since the end of January.
My dad's plane's still not back, too. They must be backed up in those shops.
Dude, that's crazy. But he's getting a big overhaul.
Yeah, but I think it was only supposed to take a couple weeks, and it's been a couple months.
That's nuts.
Yeah. He's probably not even going to be, like, allowed to fly. He's probably going to be, like, so behind on his hours.
Yeah. He'll still be able to fly. He just won't be able to take anyone.
Yeah.
He just has to go and do 3 takeoff and landings, right?
Yeah. And actually, I need him to get his plane back because my friend in South Carolina, our friend in South Carolina, called me today, and he said that there's the Mahi run is on out there offshore.
Oh.
So he's like, can you come down tomorrow? And I was like, tomorrow? It's like, no, I can't come down tomorrow. But yeah, they're heading offshore to go try to chase some Mahi. He said his buddy caught 40 of them yesterday, which is crazy. I can't even imagine catching 40 of anything. And then Mahi's crazy.
Do they sell it at all or no?
I have no idea. I don't think he kept 40 of them. I'm sure there's a limit.
That's insane.
Lesser than 40.
Yeah. 38. Probably.
38, yeah. He had to put a couple back.
Dude, that's crazy. And now my mind's racing. I'm like, dude, let's get down to South Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just wait until my dad's place.
Kind of a long drive. Hey, dude, as long as you're good with paying 100-something an hour, we can fly down there.
Yeah.
You can rent a plane.
Dude, that'd be tight to fly down there.
You do that a lot.
I don't do that hardly ever.
Oh.
I can't remember the last time I flew to South Carolina. Yeah, I don't think I've even ever flown to South Carolina. Did I tell you that one time I was on a commercial airliner and we had to make an emergency landing because the plane caught on fire?
No?
Yeah, dude. That happened to me.
Dude, where were you?
We took off out of Dulles and we made it to Greensville, North Carolina. Is that Greensboro?
Greensboro.
Greensboro, North Carolina.
I think my cousin lives there.
Well, tell him to get a better airport because the airport was closed at like 10 o'clock at night. Like we landed at a closed airport, and our plane.
How big is the plane?
I don't know. I mean,
Like how many people across? Like 6?
yeah, 6 across.
Okay.
With one aisle, and plane caught on fire. We made an emergency landing and when we were coming in to land, we like go through this. We go right over like a huge crowd of like fire engines and ambulances and stuff, and they start racing down the runway with us. It was tight.
That's wild.
And then we stopped. They wouldn't let anybody off the plane, which I thought was the opposite of what you should do.
Counterintuitive.
And then all these guys in hazmat suits like roll in, and it was just like some wires that had caught on fire. So no big deal. We probably could have made it to Florida. That's all I'm saying. Oh, and then we were in a closed airport. This is the real bummer part. We were in a closed airport for hours waiting for another plane to come to take us all the rest of the way. And then we hear this like little squeaking wheel. We're in the terminal or whatever. And we like look down this dark hallway. There's this guy with like this pallet on wheels pushing like a stack of pizzas like 8 high, like 7 across. It was a huge pile of pizzas, and the airline had gotten everybody pizza. It was tight.
Oh, that's dude. I was hoping it's just like some greasy janitor.
He's like, I got pizzas for sale, a little upcharge, make a little bit of money. Times aren't good.
How big is the Greensboro airport?
Small. I mean, I only saw one part of the terminal, but
it's like
it was
it's
small.
bigger than Culpeper Airport.
Oh yeah, it's like an airport. Like
Okay.
you can land a airliner or a commercial
Yeah.
jet there. Yeah, I mean, no, it's like a real airport, but it's not Dulles.
Okay.
But they close. That's what's weird to me. Is
Yeah.
that they were closed. But whatever.
Yeah.
Do better, Greensboro.
Come on, Greensboro. That's weird. I'm trying to think of like what time. It was like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
I'm trying to think of like Dulles at 2 o'clock in the morning. Like,
I don't think I've ever been to Dulles.
There's
at 2
not
o'clock
much
in the
there.
morning.
Oh, I've been there. That's the only time I fly.
Do better,
I
Dulles.
can't afford any normal flights.
Dude, that's how it was when we were trying to get to Ireland. We like found the weirdest Aer Lingus. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I'm
yeah,
not.
well, that's the airline we went on. And so Stuart and I were making fun of that the whole time. And dude,
Not to name drop.
yeah. Yeah, sorry, Stu. Or are you talking about there? Yeah.
Both.
I got you. Yeah, so anyway, it is like an Irish airline. So like everybody had accents and stuff that was taking care of us. And I tried to start a USA chant on the way back in because I was like so ready to be back on our soil. Nobody would join in with me. So I was like, USA, as we're coming in to land at Dulles. Yeah, nobody liked that very much.
That's really funny. When Amanda and I got married, we were doing our honeymoon in England, and we didn't have any money in those days or these days, really. But we wanted to afford a trip to London, so we're like scanning through all the kayaks and different sites and stuff that you can get it, and then they have a separate section that's called like hacker fare, which is like super cheap because you're like rigging the system.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went with that, and ultimately what happened was I bought a round trip ticket from DC to Iceland for 10 days. So I'm going on a trip to Iceland for 10 days. At about 9 days and 10 hours, I got a round trip ticket from Iceland to England. So in between my trip.
Yeah.
So it's not linked at all.
Right.
And so because of that, it was so sketchy.
Trying to make it back for your other flight that has no idea that you're coming.
Exactly. And it's not like we're in Kansas where we can talk. We're in Iceland, which has remarkably few people that speak English. And one of the flights was like, there's no check bag, there's no luggage. They wanted us we had to get all of our luggage off the plane and then go out and recheck it in.
Oh,
but there's like
yeah.
all these like national security issues and stuff that we were trying to. So we played the dumb tourist card like none other.
The dumb
like,
terrorist card.
Tourist, the dumb tarot card. Yeah, that was it was like fun to have the adventure, but being in charge of that adventure is like the worst.
Yeah.
It's so stressful.
Yeah. 100%.
Like if it was just me, that's okay. But like, I don't know. It was
Yeah.
tough.
I heard somebody said that Iceland's really cool. So like maybe you should have just stayed there.
So on the trip back, we had like a 3-hour layover, and I purposely did
I've
that
heard
one.
that's all you need.
Yeah. You see the whole thing?
Yeah, it's all you need for that place.
Did I already tell this story on the pod?
I don't know.
So like we land in Reykjavik, Iceland, which is the capital,
Okay.
which is like all the cool stuff is in Reykjavik. So we land and we're like, we're just going to go look at Reykjavik. And you kind of look out at the airport and there's not much around. So we go look at the bus, and Reykjavik's a 45-minute drive from where we're at. And we have this 3-hour layover in a pretty small airport. And so we're like, oh, what are we going to do? And so there's this town that we can see on the horizon called Keflavik. And we're like, that sounds the same. We'll just walk there. It'll be this exciting thing because it's like green pastures all the way there. We're just gonna cut through. We could walk on the road if we want, but we just want to cut through. And so we get out and we take all of our luggage and everything, and we're just like walking to this town that's like across this field.
Yeah, I would have never done this. This is so funny.
Iceland is very flat. At least where we're at, and so something that looks like it's not very far is very far. And the nice green field was actually moss growing on lava boulders, and so the entire walk is just like us walking over these boulders. It was beautiful and green and everything, but it was a nightmare. So 3-hour layover takes us an hour, and we finally get to Keflavik. And Keflavik's a very tiny, I assume, fishing town, and there's nothing open. There's nothing there. There's like one small shop that's open, and it's like kind of like Old Town Warrenton.
Nice.
So we go in, and this woman's just like there, and she's like, "Do you want to buy anything?" And we're like, "No." Everyone there who speaks English, they talk like this, like truly like that.
Are you serious?
Hinker, dinker, finker, like joke accent is like exactly how they talk. It was the best.
Better, Iceland.
So we look around, and to tie it in with what you were saying earlier, there was a Subway, and that was the only thing open.
Yeah, dude.
So we go into Subway and we get subs, and it was like $12 a sub. That was back when
That's a rip-off.
Subway was like $6 a sub. Anyway, so then we leave, and the Keflavik is a very small town, but Iceland is like super modern. It's really cool looking, like because we went from England, which is there's no such thing as a new construction in England. Everything's centuries old townhouses and everything. Probably the same way Ireland is.
Yeah.
But they all look like
I try not to look
a
around
set
when I was
of
there.
Harry Potter or something. And so you get to Iceland, and everything's like super modern, very boxy houses and everything.
Right.
It's super cool. And then so we started to make our way back, and we realized like right next to the boulder field was just this bike path that led straight to the airport. So we got back to the airport in like 30 minutes rather than the hour of bouldering and stuff. But it was exciting. It was an adventure,
That's cool.
I guess.
I don't like being out of the country. I feel like that's a dumb thing to do. Just in general.
All right.
Yeah. So
I can't imagine why
USA
you
all the way,
wouldn't
dude.
want to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, I love the country that I'm in.
Do you know more than 10 words of another language?
No.
That's one.
Maybe across all the different languages, yeah. But no, my second language I took in school was sign language. So
When that was homeschool.
that was yeah.
So, you and your mom were just like waving.
my education's weird because in 8th grade I started taking college classes at the community college,
Which you would think would mean you're like Taj Mallory and smart guy and super intelligent.
I was at the time. Now I'm not.
What happened? You are smart, but you just put off this front.
Yeah, I like that idea.
The world just caught up.
No, I was never the smart.
You were
guy.
the kid that was 6 foot in 4th grade and then never.
Yeah,
grew
now I'm
another-
5'8". Yeah, I'm like 5'8" and 35 years old.
So, being in 8th grade
Yeah.
at a community college
Mm-hmm.
with all these 19 to 24-year-olds and some adults or
Yeah.
some older.
Some of the
folk.
adults were teaching some of the classes.
How, like, speaking of not getting out of your comfort zone, how was that?
It was cool. It was really cool. I liked it a lot.
You did.
Yeah. I liked it a lot because it was easier than I thought it would. Well, I don't know about easier, but I don't know, it was cool. I don't really know what to say about it.
Did you like the attention of being
No, because there's
this
like
savant?
you wouldn't. No, dude, nobody thought of me that way. I definitely wasn't that. I was one of many kids doing the same thing. Like the dual enrollment thing was like very popular. Maybe it still is, but at that time it was very popular. I'd be surprised if like there were less than like 30 of us. I mean, there were a lot of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes it less
I might have been a
exciting.
little younger than the average dual enrollment kid, but
Yeah, because usually it's like 11th grade or 12th grade.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
eighth grade-
And in my first full semester of like full-time classes, that one was all like high school level stuff, not even college credit. They made me go through all that stuff before I could start taking college credit. So probably really the right way to say it is in 9th grade, I was taking college credit stuff.
How close are you right now to your associate's degree?
I think like
2 years.
2.5 years. Yeah, they docked me. No, I think at least a semester. At least.
That's not bad.
It's not great.
If I looked at you and had a conversation, I wouldn't say that guy's got some college under his belt.
That was a whole nother lifetime ago, though, dude.
Dude, isn't that weird how we go through these like different lives?
Yeah, dude. I'm on my 5th one, it feels like.
I feel like, and this has been my life mantra since high school probably, but like we live in a sitcom and our lives are sitcom. And so sometimes we have seasons where we just write in a character and it's like when our friend Kiefer was hanging out with us, that was just like
Kiefer, man.
just a random season of the episode or of the show. And then
Right.
the audience gets tired, so they write him out and he leaves again. Or
Sorry, Keith.
sorry, miss you, bro. Or there was this season that I went to Costa Rica, or there was the on location episode where you were in Ireland, or like all these like
dude,
different
like stupid Christmas episodes.
yeah.
Just like-
Boy Meets World goes to Disney World.
And you can tell that they like film some of them like without the people around them knowing.
right.
They're just like standing in the middle of a crowd.
Um,
Nobody cares.
so yeah,
how I feel.
that's been so like we go through these like different seasons
For sure.
and different episodes or different like
I do think I'm on season 5.
what are your seasons?
Well, there's the Fairfax season. That was the most lively. See, the rest of my life is living off of the success of season 1.
It's
The
the
rest of my
inverse
life is
problem of
just
The Office. Like
We're trying to recapture the
magic
that
that
we
you
found
had,
in
yeah.
season 1.
lightning in a bottle. Do you have anyone else? Dude, did I tell you? We found out that our commenter guy was Denny Deep Ears.
No way.
No, I'm just kidding.
Deep Rodney.
Deep-
No, actually, yeah, I have.
Denny, if you're out there,
There was a dude in
call
our,
in. You will be a guest tomorrow.
Yeah, we could use you tonight, buddy. Yeah, I still don't know about that guy. Anyway, yeah, there was a dude. My brother and I were talking about this earlier this week because this guy came up in conversation, and we were wondering how he's doing. My guess is he's in jail because he was always making like his own grenades and different stuff like that, and he would like blow up like crows' nests and stuff. Like he would find nests of like
What does a
birds.
crow's nest look like?
Like,
I've
I
never
don't
seen
know.
a crow's nest.
I have no idea. I never even saw him do this.
Oh,
But he would like literally make a bomb type thing and throw it up and blow birds' nests out of trees and stuff. So and my brother, when I was saying like he's probably in jail now, my brother was like, no, I don't see why. I mean, that's Fairfax in the '90s. You could blow stuff up out of trees. I don't know if I agree with that, but he was around somewhere. I don't know what he's up to now.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's a true story.
So you didn't see this,
No, I mean I know the guy.
but you didn't see him like.
I never saw him blow anything up.
So it's just like word on the street is
word on the street is
Johnny's
he's-
got a bomb.
Yeah, old Robbie.
Dude, you know what's crazy? My dad's name is Rob, and he knows how to make a bomb out of a pen, like a big pen.
Did he live in Fairfax?
Yeah, I don't think he's the same age as you.
No, this guy was like my dad's friend.
Oh,
They played baseball together. It's so funny to think like my brother's playing baseball now, and he's like in his 40s. I mean, he's played baseball his whole life, but it's funny.
he just found the hobby.
Yeah, he found his new passion. No, and it's funny to think like when I was a kid watching my dad play baseball in the old man league back in Fairfax.
Yeah.
He was like younger than my brother is now playing in his.
Dude,
old
isn't that
man's league.
weird?
It's weird. Yeah, my dad would have been like my age, and I remember I have memories of going to their dude. There's some stories at those baseball games. I'll tell you that.
Does it make you want to keep playing because you want your daughter to be able to see you the same way you saw your dad?
Oh no, definitely not. And the reason being is like my brother. We are working for a doctor down here in Culpeper, and this week every day it's like he's showing him a new injury that he got this last weekend. No joke, this is true. The doctor left the house today that we were working on, went down to the pharmacy and got my brother some medications for his ailments.
No way.
Yeah.
But dude, that's pretty. How old? He's 40 or
41 or 42. Yeah.
like for an MLB player, like peak physical performance,
Yeah.
to last longer than 38.
Right.
Now, granted, you're going against the greatest competition in the world, but like for him to just like be playing with these college kids and stuff in their leagues,
Right.
that's pretty incredible.
Some of these kids are studs too. Like real studs.
Didn't your dad play into his 60s?
Oh yeah, deep into his 60s.
How old is he now?
He's 69 now.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
He's almost 70 and he just
Dude,
stopped playing
he-
baseball.
Yeah. Okay, so this was his first year in like 4 years that he let his age get 1 year older. Like I'm pretty sure he's like 73. Because he was 68 for like 4 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like a 70-year-old.
Yeah.
I would say he's like 58.
I've seen worse. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I've seen worse. But nobody cares about my dad.
Is he fully retired?
Pretty much, yeah.
When you say pretty much, like,
Pretty much, I mean like he'll fix cars for his friends.
okay.
But he's not running a shop anymore.
Hmm.
But anyway, so what else is going on, dude? Did you have anything else other than almost crashing a plane?
Today's my son's 5th birthday.
Yeah, I don't see how anybody cares about that.
Come on.
No, that's cool, man. 5 years. That's tight.
It's crazy. Like I don't know. It's crazy. This one's crazy.
Now, any ice cream stories to mention?
Ice cream. Oh. Wait, are we supposed to talk about ice cream? Is that?
Yeah, and did anything creepy happen with that ice cream?
Well, we talked about the fairy stuff. That covers the creepy.
Oh, that's true.
We had our rundown brought to us by a 10-year-old little girl. So
She was like, talk about ice cream and creepy things and my brother's birthday. Yeah.
we almost had it all organically. Hey, we have this ice cream maker, but it's like this ball. Have you seen these before?
No.
So it's this big plastic ball, and on one end is like a metal cup, and on the other end is like so it has a hole in it. It's like a metal hole that you pour all your milk and your ingredients and everything into it, and then you seal that cup up in the bowl. So think of a cup surrounded by a ball.
Okay.
The other side, you can open that up. That's where you put all your ice and salt in. And when you mix ice and salt, I don't know if you've ever done that before, but it will burn your hand just because it gets so cold.
Whoa, really?
Dude, when I worked at Ruby Tuesday, we would have these stupid competitions where you like pour salt on your hand and then take like one of those like 3-pack of ice cube that's like all connected and you had to hold it onto the salt and see who could melt your
It makes it
ice
colder,
first. Yeah, it'll burn your hand.
but it melts the ice faster.
No,
Then why do they put salt all over the roads in the wintertime?
maybe it does melt the ice then. That's a good question. Okay, but anyway, so we would do that and like burn our hands to pieces. Anyway,
Nice.
so they have these balls that you do that, and then you just take it outside and you roll it around and you play with it, and it's like super heavy. But you're supposed to play with this ball for 20 minutes, and then you bring it in and you have ice cream now.
That's kind of tight.
Isn't that pretty cool?
I mean, yeah, I just go to the store and get my ice cream.
It's so much easier, and you
Yeah.
get so much more ice cream.
Is it better?
It was pretty good. Like I just cut up a banana and a strawberry and threw it in with like the whipping cream and the sugar, and it tasted incredible.
It actually sounds really good, but
It's
takes
easier
so
to
much time
buy,
right now.
and it's probably cheaper. You can get a carton of ice cream from Walmart for like $2.56.
You know what I've been getting into? Oh, really?
Dude, yeah.
Do you know what I've been getting into recently?
No, but I want to.
Toll House makes a fantastic like pre-made cookie dough.
Yeah, duh.
They're so
Are
good.
you talking about the tube of it? Looks like a sausage link.
Same stuff, but only in a bin, like a carton.
Oh, okay, like,
Like
a
a
piece,
bowl.
like a butter.
Yeah, like- yeah.
margarine or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And I've been doing that. Like, we'd throw it in our little toaster oven for like 12 minutes. Got like 16 cookies or something like that. And then you take a few of them, put them on the bottom of a bowl, throw a scoop of ice cream
Oh,
in that joint.
dude.
Dude, it's like,
Also,
It's
when I
just
worked
money.
at Ruby Tuesday, the statute of limitations is gone because it's been over 10 years. I don't know if this is a thing or not, but I would like go in the back and steal those big chocolate chip cookies, throw them in the microwave,
yeah.
10 seconds, throw ice cream and caramel on it. Oh, my guy.
oh, dude, I'm definitely going to go have some cookies and ice cream.
That was like
after this.
once a shift. I probably stole $300 of cookies from that restaurant.
Yeah, dude, you definitely did.
No,
you know what I
that's
got?
that's not accurate, but I did steal a couple cookies.
You know what I got from that restaurant a lot because of everybody who worked there was the old school raspberry tea.
Yeah.
That was solid.
When you had like the actual puree in it and everything?
No, just like
Like the brisk raspberry tea.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, that was a staple for me. Yeah.
that was so good, dude. Yeah.
yeah. On a episode we don't have more time, we should tell some Ruby stories because there were some funny ones.
Dude, yeah.
I may have already told some. I don't
Yeah, I
remember.
think people are aware that you missed my wedding for a shift at Ruby's.
Oh, we did talk about that. I used to be in charge of like training the hosts and stuff because I
The
wasn't
hose?
hosts.
Oh, my bad, bro.
And so if there was ever like a guy, I would be like, hey, we're going to do a game.
A little extra training, you know what I'm saying?
And I'd say go in the back and make a concoction of all the different fountain drinks or whatever and bring it back here and I have to figure out what's in it. And then I'll go and do it for you. So they did it and it's like root beer and some coffee or whatever.
Didn't you guys ever have customers?
It was very rare. It was Ruby Tuesday.
That reminds me a lot of like the movie Waiting
Yeah.
with Justin Long.
That came out as I was waiting.
Oh, what a time to be alive.
It was great. Yeah. Ryan Reynolds.
What a time to
Peak
be in the
Ryan
restaurant
Reynolds.
business.
So I would go back and like just do Tabasco and salt and pepper and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. It's, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
was
that's
good
tight,
times.
dude. Well, yeah, my week was good. Thanks for asking, I guess.
I asked when we opened, but you blew right past it.
Oh, my bad, dude. Yeah. No, I had nothing go on this week.
Not one.
oh, well,
thing.
actually, I was sick with the C19er, I think.
No.
But I don't test because
Because then they'll know.
well, not that as much as just like at this point, who cares, kind of? I mean, I think
It
people,
has, like, the importance of it seems to have gone.
and I
down
think rightfully
significantly.
so, because I think on all these what is it called? The new rendition of COVID?
Yeah,
The
the
variant.
variants.
This new variant, like all these variants are getting weaker and weaker, but they're, they're still very contagious or whatever.
But I think, like, the craziness of. I don't know. I'm going to talk over my skis, and that's not me. So, I mean, let's go.
Oh, please. It's like
That's all I do.
You've made a living on talking over your skis. Dude, I work for a guy who was telling me, so what he does, he works in a company, it's not Quest Diagnostics, but it's something similar to that where they work on like bioengineering things.
Is
And-
he related to you?
No.
Okay.
No, no, well, yeah, no, not that guy. No, not that guy. Although he's exceptionally smart. This other guy, he
He
was
probably went to community college in 8th grade too.
at least. I think he's only got less than a semester left though, so he's doing pretty good. He was telling me that because they're working on vaccines and stuff at the time, and he was saying it's such a bad idea to launch vaccines during a pandemic because you're going to have all these variants pop up and you're never going to catch up. And then, flash forward like 2 years, here we are sitting here with all these variants running around and vaccines that are questionable at best.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's crazy. People knew what they were doing, but nobody stopped it, I guess.
That is interesting. Like, take apart all the stuff that people are like freaking out about, like conspiracy theorists and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Even take apart the fact that the FDA didn't approve it,
Right.
and all that.
Yeah.
But it's like, even if we hit this and it hits perfectly,
Right.
it's still not going to do. It's like the flu vaccine where every year it's different.
You're playing from a year behind.
Yeah.
There's a new thing that your vaccine isn't.
And I'm
isn't
sure
fighting.
vaccines have saved lives.
Oh, I'm sure.
So
100%.
I don't want to be that guy. But
Oh yeah, dude, 100%. Although I will say, a lot of vaccines that we use now probably aren't super necessary because like the things that the vaccine worked well, and so now those things don't exist.
yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. This is a dangerous area to talk about in any.
Hey man,
Any
I'm
realm.
I'm vaxxed up, dude. You look at me, I'm all vaxxed out. That's why you hear me coughing. I'm just kidding.
I had
I'm
the
not
ones from when we were little, but now it's like 8 times that size.
When were you born?
90?
1990. Okay, so yeah, because I think somewhere around the time you were born, they jumped, like vaccines jumped up a bunch.
Oh, really?
From when I was born, like there was a lot fewer.
That's what I'm saying. Now it's like
Yeah.
there's like 40. I don't know what the numbers are, but it's a lot more.
It's like 70.
That's truly.
Yeah, truly.
Oh my gosh.
I think they like pump these little babies with like 70 things. They want to start giving babies vaccines like moments after birth.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild. Scary, man, because babies are little and
They
they
are
seem
little.
so delicate. But I'm glad that there are people who are way smarter than me that know that you can do this stuff to people, to babies, because I would think that would not be a good idea. But I guess it works.
And that's where we're at. We're at 52 minutes. You want to keep going? You want to wrap?
On that bitter note.
Yeah. Good grief. Speaking of changelings and all the baby death, we have remarkably less baby death now, which is great.
Yeah. No, 100%. That's another thing, dude. Like, yeah. No, I don't really know if I should. My wife would want me talking about that, but yeah, I'm just saying, I'm glad that we have the facilities that we have that can keep women and babies alive during the birthing process, because I was scared enough as it was being in a hospital.
Dude, my wife was born in a birthing center.
Mm-hmm. Your wife was born, or your child?
Probably both, but my child, the
You
5-year-old.
said wife, I think.
Also, I know I did. The 12-year-old and the 10-year-old, not the 1-year-old. He was imported goods.
Yeah.
So I was so nervous.
Yeah.
I
There's nothing scarier than that.
yeah. If something happens, like what?
What do you do?
Yeah. Grace of God, nothing happened.
Oh,
But
man.
There's contingencies and stuff, but still, like that's. Ugh.
My wife wanted a birthing center, and my one request was if we do a birthing center, it needs to be attached to a hospital.
Right,
Which
right.
does exist, I guess, but I think she found out that it would just be easier just to do a hospital. So
That's
what
good.
we did. Yeah, and it worked great. I'm glad we did it.
Yeah. I would have died when I was like 1 week old. I had the measles. Wow. And I was like,
Did you not get vaxxed?
well, I don't know. Guess that's why they do it as soon as you pop out now.
Good grief, dude. What are you, an anti-vaxxer?
But like my poor dad was like, my mom also had the measles, and so he was like running up to her to visit her, and then coming down to me, and I'm like this 1 week old baby that's all hooked up to all these tubes and everything. And then he goes back to her, and she's out of it, thinking he's running off to cheat on her and stuff. So it's like,
whoa.
He's 24. He had 4 kids, and he's having to deal with all this by himself. Crazy.
That's insane.
Dude. I can't imagine.
Dude.
24 years old having 4 kids.
Yeah.
Let alone all like the crazy health stuff. But
I've only got one little baby, and I'm 35, and I'm overwhelmed.
yeah.
And my wife literally does all of it.
Yeah, I don't know how you're possibly overwhelmed.
No, I'm not really. I just like to say that because everybody else is saying I feel left out.
It's tough because like I can't work on my house when the baby's sleeping. It's very overwhelming.
Actually, today I had her in my left arm and I had a hammer in my right arm. I was like trying to like pry a board off of another board. And I was like, this is so hard.
Dude, we moved into our Pelham's Reach house and oh shoot, now I have to delete the episode. And
Pelham's Reach, Montana?
Yeah. And I'm changing out lights sockets, and my daughter at that time is like 4. So she's like, she wants to help, and so I'm pumped about that. And so she's sitting on my lap while I'm working on the light sockets and or power outlets, and she's watching and everything. And so there's one that's like, I'm really trying to pry off the wires from the light switch and everything.
Using a spoon.
Yeah. The pliers slip and crack her right in the forehead.
Dude, that's so bad.
Didn't want to help me after that.
Dude, speaking of pliers and things not going perfectly, today after work, I was in the shop working on. So my Harley has a fuel leak. One of my Harleys, has a fuel leak, and I was trying to fix it. I thought I had diagnosed it yesterday, and I think I was right. But
Hole in the fuel tank?
no, yeah, I thought it was originally. I thought it was a like a cracked fuel line. And so I was going to just replace the whole fuel line. But when I pinpointed it yesterday, it was actually the pepcock, the valve that connects to the gas tank that has like the on and off switch. It wasn't like, I think it had like rattled itself loose. So not enough pressure was on the seal. So fuel was like coming around and just dripping all over the engine, which is really sketchy. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just wait for all the fuel to dry up and then I'll tighten it up tomorrow. And then
Do you have to replace it at that point, or can you just tighten it?
Well, it was loose when I was messing with it with my hand. It was loose, so I figured I might be able to just run a couple of turns on it and it'd be good to go. So
this is like the plunger at the bottom of the gas tank, where the gas exits to get to the
right. This is where all your fuel lines that take the fuel to your carbs or whatever are on that bike. They're carburetors. That's what this valve is. And anyway, so I take a wrench to it today, and I give it one little like quarter turn just to try to tighten it up, and the whole thing just pops off. So I got gasoline just like dumping out everywhere, right? And so I'm like, oh man. So I try to I just go for it, and I try to just like thread it back on with my fingers as gas is like pouring down my arms all the way down to the elbows and like dripping all over the ground on me. And I was like, well, I'm not getting this thing the threading's not lining up or whatever. So I had to open up the garage door and push this bike out into the truck.
Oh, you're in your house?
No, I'm not in the house. I'm in a shop. In my dad's shop.
Oh, okay.
And so I push it out into the driveway. Fuel's just pouring out everywhere. I cannot get this thing to thread. So I was like, oh, snap, man. I messed with it for way too long. I mean, I'm just losing so much gasoline everywhere. I eventually decided I got to take the tank off this thing. So I could flip it over and get it to stop pouring out. So I go get the tools to do that, and I get the back bolt off, and I go up to the front, and I start cranking it down. I'm like 2 turns away from getting this thing uncranked, and then the fuel just stops flowing. I was like, man, I just lost like 2.5 gallons of fuel.
It's like $28.
And I'm like covered in gasoline. So yeah, sometimes work doesn't go the way you think it's going to go. Dude. I thought it was going to be a quarter turn and I was done. And it ended up
you just take a gasoline bath.
Yeah.
Dude, that reminds me, I think a similar thing happened in your driveway when we were working with my CB.
Is that when we caught the bike on fire?
450. No, I don't. Did we catch it on fire?
I caught a motor. We did catch a motorcycle on fire, but it might not have been yours.
No.
In fact, I think it was my friend's shadow.
This is when we were messing with the Bondo on the gas tank and like trying to get it off, and there's just gasoline poured everywhere. There's a dent in the gas tank, and rather than be able to pop it out, we just Bondoed the tar out of this.
For a brief moment, it looked good.
Yeah. But then it got hot and cracked and fell out.
It just fell out in one giant piece.
Man, that was a cool little bike.
It was a great bike.
It did not last long. But
They never do.
they never do.
No, dude. Motorcycles are dangerous. This is my non-endorsement to all you unsaddies out there. Do not ride motorcycles.
But if you do, you'll look way cooler than if you don't.
And actually, that's a really good segue into our ad read for the night.
Oh, thanks.
What?
I said thanks for reminding us.
Yeah, because we got to pay them bills.
Pay them bills.
Yeah, tonight's episode is brought to you by motorcycles. Look twice, save a life.
Tonight's episode is also brought to you by motorcycle seatbelts. New invention we're trying to get off the ground. And Ben?
Yeah, when you're trying to get it off the ground, the seatbelts will keep you on the ground.
There you have it.
Yeah. If you've ever wondered what it would be like to be in a wreck while tethered to your motorcycle, then this is the product for you. If you've ever thought that it would be better to be tumbling with the bike down the road at high speed, this will do that for you. It will ensure. Really, actually, you probably would lose your insurance. So, not a great idea.
So yeah, motorcycle seatbelts brought to you by Walgreens.
They're not gonna like that.
Oh my gosh! And then our viewer comments today is this one comes from T-Mac the Bomb on X. He says, "Hey guys, I really appreciate you."
Yeah.
Thanks, T-Mac.
He actually specifically said Luke and Dan though, so that didn't really apply to us.
We just want to read it for you guys. So if you're
Yeah.
listening, we're thinking about you, and so is T-Mac the Bomb.
Yeah. Oh, I did see a comment on one of the social media platforms. He was curious about what our thoughts are on fly fishing. And I figured that since you're kind of the resident fly fisherman, you should take it.
I can tell you anything you want to know about fly fishing.
Go ahead and tell him.
Okay. Well, fly fishing. If you're going into an area with dense foliage, do not bring an 8-foot rod. You will get stuck on everything.
Right.
6-foot rod's where it's at if you're going to be in dense foliage. Also, side note, I get really annoyed when people say foliage when it's foliage. So it's a pet peeve of mine.
Foliage is usually what happens when I get into the kitchen drawer.
There you go. So then what you're going to want to do with fly fishing is you tie the rod to the fly.
Tether it.
That's what I said.
Motorcycle seatbelt the fly to the rod.
Yes. You really want that puppy to get on there because if you tie it incorrectly, the fly will fall off and you will be looking like a fool while the fish just eat
Laughs
your
at you.
fly. It does not have anything to do with your pants zipper. If anyone tells you that it does, don't believe them.
Dude, that was one time that I
was
was out there playing with my zipper. It was one time you got to give it up.
And if you go with Ben Willoughby, don't keep score.
Well, first and last names have officially been dropped.
Shoot. Also, tonight's episode final ad read brought to you by the Washington Nationals, who just beat the Dodgers, who spent
First time in franchise history.
more on their team than the Nats spend on their team. Probably the Dodgers probably spent more on their team this offseason than the Nats team is
Having
worth.
Franchise history.
Yeah.
Or is Ohtani making more than the entire payroll of the Nats right now?
Probably. We don't have anyone.
Yeah, I can't think of a single player we have. Do we have
Wood isn't up yet. He's getting there.
who?
James Wood.
James Wood.
Do you
The
know
actor?
Yeah.
Wow,
He's a really good
he's
baseball
really
player.
smart too.
No, he's in the minors. He's like, this kid's really good. He's in the minors. They're getting ready to call him up, but they have to wait so that we get an extra year of contract with him.
Well, it'd be nice to get him on before he makes it to the big leagues. I'd like to talk to him about what his experience has been in the minors. So
You
maybe
should, yeah.
maybe I'll reach out.
You should reach out with your brother. He plays baseball.
Yeah, they probably played against each other
I
recently.
know each other.
Yeah. The O's stud kid can't hit, turns out.
Wait, he really can't? He's not doing well?
He's gotten like one hit in like 15 at bats.
Oh my god.
I think his batting average is like 40.
He wasn't ready for the bigs, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, his dad is
Yeah. The man, the legend.
the man legend. Is he Hall of Famer?
Matt Holliday. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but he's a stud. Dude, he could launch bombs.
Yeah. He played for the A's, right?
Yeah, I think maybe. I know he played for the Yankees, and I know he played for the Cardinals. Those are the two teams I
I
remember.
was just kidding. I remembered a red. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
would
He also
Is
might
he
have played
the-
for the Dodgers, actually.
I don't know that he did. Maybe.
I don't know that he did either.
So my family's Dodgers fans. That
Okay.
my dad or my grandpa was from like Brooklyn or Long Island, or I'm not sure, but Dodgers were his team. And then we didn't have a team, so they grew up Dodgers fans. So I always like to rub in. I was messaging my brother today talking about how we just beat them in the series, and I was like, "You think we'll lose another game this year?" I was like, we'll probably lose a game, but I think that it's a good bet that we're not going to lose another series this year. So,
Nice.
additionally, the Caps made the playoffs.
Is it hockey season?
Yeah, it's the end,
Shoot, man. Another year's gone by, and I've missed my chance to get into hockey.
dude. Ovi's like 40 away from Gretzky. You should
Is that all time?
all time.
Is he going for it, or is he going to retire?
No, absolutely, he's going for it. But he was like, no one was ever going to break this. And just to settle the debate, Ovi's not going to be the greatest. Gretzky's like the greatest hockey player of all.
Right.
Ovi's just the best point scorer or goal scorer ever. But Gretzky has like
Pretty cool.
more assists than like the next two people combined. In addition to like more points than more goals than anyone and stuff. It's like
So he missed 100% of those shots.
he's
That's what you're saying.
he's slept by. Anyway,
Well, Unsadis out there, I want you to think of one thing this week. Blessings. How to be one, how to get one. Primarily how to get one. And if you figure it out, let me know. I can't take my eyes off of you while you're doing that. So anyway, blessings to you, and we will be back next week with another thrilling episode of Unsought Opinions.
boom. Yeah.